Hi everyone, we are Team Delta. It's so excited for us to deliver the process and the successful outcomes of our live project, meaning that in the end, stakeholders have approved and agreed to distribute the final product. First, before we start, I would like to introduce Delta's team member. We got Elliot as the program manager, Aggie as the project manager and product designer, Phoebe as the stakeholder and change manager, and me myself as the researcher and budget manager. The purpose of this project, we wanted to create an engaging digital guide, which is a mental well-being pack that we call as the isolation rejuvenation for students living in the students' halls accommodation. The final product will give them guidances, advices, and tips and hints so it could help them to improve their mental well-being. Besides the students, we also want to help the needs of our key stakeholder, that is ResLife, with producing a good and approved final product that they can distribute to students, especially that living in students' halls of residence that they look after. We want to encourage the students to go out, explore, and enjoy the nature, but in the same time, doing fun, positive activities and exercise to provide escapism and help them improve their well-being so they can adapt easily during this COVID-19 restriction. Project can be complex because it has many processes and people inside it. All this needs to be managed and needs to be planned carefully. With that saying, our program manager has developed a project management document that consists of product breakdown structure, Gantt chart, budget, stakeholder analysis, and others as you can see on the slide. From the work breakdown structure and the Gantt chart, we allocated the tasks and the project schedule to each team member. As you can see on the stakeholder analysis graphic at bottom right, the stakeholder, which is ResLife, needs to be managed closely because they are the main distributor for the final product. In the end, we able to achieve a successful final product for students and make our key stakeholder happy.
In terms of the problems, we had to face several ones until we could deliver the finished product. However, we managed to find a solution to them within the satisfying time frame. Thanks to the cooperation from all team members, we could fix it whenever issue appeared through constant communication with each other. For example, the first issue on this slide was resolved thanks to Phoebe determination to contact potential stakeholders, while other team members polished the idea behind the project. So when we already did found one, we had to make sure that we're building our project towards stakeholder expectations. To do that, I used my skill in graphic design to create many draft options until we met a satisfying outcome. And once again, great communication between Phoebe and the ResLives allow us to quickly adjust project whenever needed. And together with Bobby, they provide me with a great research material that I could work with. When it comes to the final product feedback, we were worried that we lack it from the students that will receive it. So we decided to get a generalized opinion from different student groups to see if they like it overly, which give us a potential response to our product. Also, I think that we managed to quickly resolve all the issues we had, and the great teamwork really helped us to get through it. And that's why we've been able to deliver a complete project without further issues and within the expected time frame.
In terms of outcomes, our final product has met the objectives set out for the project, which have been adapted as changes in the project have occurred. An example of these changes came from communications with the key stakeholder ResLife, who provided us with knowledge of the students' needs. Therefore, we went from creating an informative document full of facts, figures, and advice on mental health to creating a more light-hearted guide to improve mental well-being and boost morale in students living in halls during COVID. Another of our objectives was to meet the key stakeholders' needs. These needs included providing a visually clear resource that would contain helpful tips to the students to encourage them to get out and about from their flat, as well as to create a competition to engage the students with the guide. It is clear that these objectives were met as ResLife were really pleased with the product, and we've received a positive response from a group of students as consumer feedback. ResLife will be sending the guide to the students digitally across 9 halls of residence and opening the competition up in the coming weeks, which means it could potentially reach around 3,000 students. The final product was delivered on time as the schedule was carefully managed throughout the project. The project did not exceed budgeted hours or costs, and ResLife even gifted the project monetary prizes for the competition winners, which was a huge result. Overall, we are really pleased with the outcomes of the project and extremely excited that our final product will soon reach its intended audience and potentially be a helpful resource to students living in halls and struggling to keep positive in these difficult times. The team have learnt a vast amount of knowledge and developed a number of key skills in project management, including scheduling, stakeholder management, change management, and risk management. Having been able to practically apply so many project management techniques has developed all of us as project managers. Thank you so much for listening, and we welcome any questions.